This is Julie Perez. I'm really proud of Julie as well. Julie is doing her talk on gun control. This is a topic she feels really strongly about, and I'm very excited to see her learn. Take it away, Julie.
We have all lost someone in our lives that we loved before. And we've all felt that pain, grief, sadness. We've all felt it before, and I think I can speak for all of us when we say it's not enjoyable and it's not something we'd like to feel very often. With how easily accessible guns are today, it can happen a lot more often. And I know you're probably all thinking that it's not going to happen to you, or no one you know is going to get killed or injured from guns, but that's what everyone says, and yet it still happens very often. The United States, this is a chart of how many guns are owned per 100 residents, and the United States is very high, especially compared to everyone else, which shows how easily accessible guns are today. 55 million Americans own guns, which is over 20% of the population. 13,286 were killed in the United States by guns in 2015, and 26,819 were injured. For the longest time, I've always known that motor vehicles are the leading cause of death. But as you can see in this chart, gun violence is reaching the number of that, which is a big issue because motor vehicles, it is very easy to get in an accident or very likely. And with gun violence reaching that number, it shows how bad it is really getting. The number of homicides per guns is much higher than, for example, Australia and England, and this shows how over 64% of the population have died in 2016 by homicides by guns, and it's very high. Australia, we can take for example, because they had a mass shooting in 1996 that has killed 13 people, and since then, they have banned semi-automatic self-loading rifles and shotguns and imposed stricter licensing and registration requirements since then, and have had very little gun violence or deaths relating to guns. In their mass shooting, they had 13 killed. 13, and then from there, they have taken action. 13 for a mass shooting has gotten to a small number for us. We've had much more in Orlando, Las Vegas, and even in school shootings, we've had more than 13 killed. That definitely says something. For school shootings, Parkland School, the high school in Florida that has had their school shooting, has brought the number to 18 in February. That means by now, not even into half of the year, we've had over 20 school shootings. School is something we think of, parents and children, as a safe place we go to every single day to learn, to make new friends, to grow. But now no one feels safe anymore because it's so easy for someone to come into the school with a rifle and just, kill students. I think if we have, a lot of people argue about the Second Amendment rights, which we have a right to bear arms. But that Second Amendment was written, I saw a quote online that said the Second Amendment was written when an African American was considered 3/5 of a person. Things have changed since then. And I think if we realize that, then we can change some things to make America better all around. And not only, that is our Second Amendment right, and things have changed from there, but if we have stricter gun laws, it's not taking away that right. We can still get guns. Whoever wants a gun can get one. They just have to go through the process if they're willing to. And I think that's most important because all shooters that have shot up schools have had a mental illness. Not one has not. Every single school shooter has had a mental illness. And my question is why they are given the gun in the first place. If we are doing proper background checks, we should see that and realize that if a person has a mental illness, they should not be allowed a gun because that just is very dangerous. So I think if we have stricter gun laws, and so less people will get guns because or the people who want guns will go through the process if they really want it, then I think a lot less deaths will bring down. Like Australia, their death has gone down a lot, and school can be considered safe again, and I think America would just be safe again if we have stricter gun laws. Thanks.